So that's what happened, okay? So the police officer, he was very upset about it. And he said, I do not understand how the kids at this time of the hour of night can be unsupervised. And this is really what black people do in general. In Africa, say the children are running. It's like, it's not even difficult to see that, okay? In Africa, for example, we have dogs. We have dogs, we have cats. You see that the dogs are running. The dog goes everywhere in the neighborhood. He goes there. He leaves the gates. The dog leaves the dogs. They leave the gates. They go everywhere. And he goes in the neighborhood. He goes in people's house, and people compound. The dog come here. Then he come back home. Nobody supervise the dog. No, it's just an example how we treat our pets. The pets goes, he comes. Sometimes the dog doesn't come back home because the car hit the dog and it's finished. The white people, when the dog, you see the dog knows that, oh my God. Even the way we raise our pet, even the way we dress, we raise our pet, you see the difference already. The irresponsibility, there is a sense of irresponsibility in the black community when it comes to children and stuff like that. And sometimes you wonder why, God, no, seriously, because you have people who get angry, and I talked about that in last year. I say African people, I understand what you are upset about, the fact that some European leaders say that you have to review the number of children you have per family. And first, I was also upset about this statement because they're not supposed to lecture us about how we are supposed to live our intimate life. But when we see the result of the way we treat our children, the way we take care of our children, I mean, it makes sense that sometimes they are also exhausted because the same children are the ones who are crossing, who are swimming in the ocean, who are in the sea to go to Europe. Because you are irresponsible, you cannot take care of them, and so you have more and more kids, and you cannot even take care and educate them the way they're supposed to do. The children are on their own. The children, and this is something also I really got upset with my parents, is the fact that African parents have this easy way to just drop their children in the hand of strangers. They never ask any question. They never do any investigation about the people to who they're going to drop their children. They just drop the children there. And there's always a sense of, I don't know how to explain that, but people can get upset, but it's a fact, because I have observed it many times. And I think it would be hypocrite to just talk about Black America when it's already coming from the people of African people have it, okay? So you have people, and the same people want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children, and they can't even take care of them. You have financial situation difficult. If your financial resources are limited, what you have to have more children. The more children you have, you are close to precarity. It is known. The thing that Tommaso talked about, Japanese American, is a Japanese American invested in children education. In that children education, and that's how they changed the history of their community in America, we say. And it's true. I haven't read this part. I found about that later on, okay? When I say that Black African parents Black in general should invest in the education of their children. When I say education, it's like they should do the best to send their children to the best school. I mean, for now, I understand, even me, it is difficult, but I'm thinking about how with time, I want to put my son in the private school. He's not in the private school, I'm not going to lie, because it's very expensive. But I talk about that with his father, and we agree on that he has to go to the private school. If you have many children, how can you, because I will come back to the father abandonment. This is just a little parenthesis here, because you see that how you break the cycle of for example, of a certain situation of a generational thing in a community. Is when you open doors. It's true that school today is a scam, but I don't know how to say that. This is why it's difficult for people who don't have, who are not from a rich family. School is the only way, to change the history of your life in your way. If you tie the belt, okay, like this is an expression we have in French, and you send, for example, your son or your daughter to good universities, not any university. I watched a documentary, a small documentary I watched on TikTok. It was really fast. A young black man, he was sent to Stanford University, and he was really good in artificial intelligence. He was doing something in artificial intelligence. This guy, he'll finish his studies. He already know how much he will make per year. Okay, it's no longer about the parent, it's about the children. And black people in general, we don't think like that. When you talk with white people, they invest in their children. Asian people, look all of them. They will do everything for the studies of their children. You see, look, for example, I'll just give an example. Okay, maybe I'm not. You see, like, for example, Usha Vance. And Usha Vance, she had studies in law. You see that many Indian family, for example, if you see Indian people, they invest in their children's studies. You see that Japanese, I give an example of Kai Komuro, the wife, the husband of the Princess Mako husband. Her mother was a single mom, but she invests in her son's study to become a lawyer. It's just an example. Because these people understood what? They understood that the only way to change the history of a family is to invest in the children. So back to the father. The father are not present. I see it sometimes. I see it because I'm not going to lie. I'm a single mom, but I last time I say, and I think some women will hate me for that because it's not easy, and I understand it. But I say that when I found out that the father present in the child is kind of more, it's really, really, really important. It has even more effect on the child's life than the mother presence. I'm telling you, I didn't know that. I was shocked. And later on, when I heard Tommaso talk about that too, that's why even if you are not doing good in the way you are, try to communicate. If you are divorced, like me, for example, you try to communicate with the father. I'm telling you, I didn't want him to be around at the beginning. It's okay. It's only if the father is a psychopath, sociopath, crazy man, dangerous to the children, and you understand that you have to cut him off. But if he wants to do good to the child, he wants to be a part of the life of the child, let him, because he brings a certain stability, a certain security, and it will create self-confidence in the child. When my son was with me for a long time, he really met his father at 5 years because I didn't want him to be around. I have a personal reason, okay? Because it wasn't doing good at all. And he only met him at 5 years old. But all this time, you could feel that there was something missing. You could feel there was something missing, but I couldn't really, because I thought that I am the mother, I will double cover it. No. Because the way God has created us, God put the father and the mother, the man and the woman on purpose, okay? It's because the society is completely messed up. That's why we have divorce and situations like that. But in a normal way, the father and the mother, both of them have different role in the life of the child. And I understood it. The more I read, the more I educate myself, the more I observe my son, and I see the difference. Since he has met his father, since he spent time with his father in the weekends, I can see that there is something. You can see there is a kind of stability. There are things that I mean, I don't know how to explain that, but there is something. There is something of stability. So don't run to search another man to become your son's fathers. If it happens, good for you. It's the grace of God. But if it doesn't happen, if the man really doesn't want, but if the man wants to be a part of your child, let him be. Because it's going to build a certain self-confidence in a man. You see, we have many situations with men today. Many of them is sometimes due to a lack of the father presence. When the father, I know that the father are not always perfect, but the fact that the father is here, I'm telling you, I observe something and I've learned, okay? And I cannot say cut, because it's going to be difficult, even for girls. Even for girls, there was a well-known singer, I won't say her name. Her whole life, she struggled with the father absence. The father was present in the home, but he was absent, and at some point he left, okay? But all her life, she was living a life of searching to please men, because there was the idea of the father. Oh, dad, where are you? Oh, dad, where is this situation that happened? And that's why you see many African women have this problem. That's why they can be treated anyhow by their husband, because of the father absence in their young age. That's why easily African women can be abused emotionally, verbally, or anything, and they will take it. Why? Because very young, the father present wasn't there. You see, this part also, okay, and I will make clear on that. If the marriage doesn't work and the children are in a marriage that doesn't work, it is not good either, because children are very smart. They see what's going on. A house of love, okay, a house where the two parents love each other is good for the children. If the two parents are not okay together, you're not helping the child. You're not helping the children, because you are making in the future somebody's gonna be a psychopath or sociopath or a toxic person. This is why sometimes we talk to some African women who are in toxic relationship and they don't want to say no because my husband. It's a mistake. Don't think that what you are doing is protecting your child. You are hurting them, because children, even if they don't talk, they see, and what they see, they will likely repeat what you are doing, and you are creating. I won't say monster. You are creating, some type of monster in a way, emotional monster. People who cannot be emotionally expressive. You don't see that difficultly. They will say I love you, or they will hug. It's an environment, okay? It's an environment. That's why we usually I say, if it's not working, if it's not doing good to you as a wife, as a woman, leave. Because the husband who is toxic, the husband who is verbally and emotionally abusing you, you have no idea that the child understands and he sees. And if you staying inside there, is teaching your children that it is okay to be treated like that. So even for a young man, you show him that way, he will understand two things, okay? Or if he fall into a toxic relationship where a woman will be also abusing him, or he will be an abusive man. So that's why you have to be careful on that. And me, after I saw so many things, I witnessed things, I heard things, I understand the assignment that I have as a mother, that I'm supposed to raise my son to be a good man for his future wife. We have our role to play when we raise our son, when we want to teach them what to do, how to do. So the child abandonment, the father absence is very strong in the child, in children, and in the Black community, it's very present. I go to school, and of course, I am on my own not because I decided, and that is very important. I have my child in the marriage. Okay, my son was born in wedlock. I'm very clear on that, and I always make sure that when I talk about that, because sometimes you say, oh, but you are no. I was married when I had my child, and situation happened. Okay, so I protect him from that. But if he wants to be with his father, to be a child, I will let him be. So I see in the morning, early morning, when we go to drop the children, mostly the Black women like me, we are alone. We come to bring the child, and I want to confirm that I've seen many times that the father, the Hispanic family, I see the father, the mother, they come to drop the child. They come to drop the children or the child. I see the father, I see the mother together. They come in the morning, they drop the child. I saw it. Sometimes you see, or if the father has no time, he's not there. But you usually see that the two together come. Sometimes the mother has a baby, the father is here, the child is here, they come to drop the child. They grab the child together, and the child goes. I'm telling you, you have no idea of what it means for the child. Okay? But like I say, in a very normal and loving and caring family, not in a toxic family where people act like everything is fine. Because even if you act, the child knows. Okay? What the activity will take my son have activities other than school. And in that activities, he's going to run, he's going to do stuff like athletic activities, you see what I mean? Sport activity. And I'm alone, of course, because I'm now a single mom. I don't want to lie. But the thing is, in that group, he's the only one all of the kids playing there are white, okay? And I will explain to you why I make this precision. And me, my son is the only one who is Black. He's not, he's not white. He's not like the other kids. I'm telling you, when the activity starts, the mothers are there, or some of them, the father and the mother, the couple come together. But I've seen something, okay? The mothers, sometimes they usually come on time to drop the kid because you are sitting and you are assisting, you are sitting and watching, okay? The fathers, I talk about white people, the fathers, you see how the father come, even if he's 10 minutes late, you can tell he comes from work. You see the clothes, the attire, the clothes, he comes from work. He's rushing. He's rushing to come to sit, to see his children or his child doing these activities. It might sound like nothing, but I'm telling you, it has a strong meaning. He's rushing to join his wife, who is sitting there, to watch together the children running and do the stuff, or the child running. I mean, it can look like nothing special, but I'm telling you, it has a strong meaning to the child. Mom and dad together watching me, especially the father. And it makes the child feel confident. It creates confidence. Besides the sport he's doing, but the presence of his parents together, watching him, encouraging him, especially the father. I'm telling you, even if the mom wasn't there, but just the father present there, it meant a lot. And God showing you see that. You see how, because it's a statement. The father is making a statement by rushing from work, even if he's late of 10 or 15 minutes. He could just go home. Like African people say, oh, I just can go home, I'm tired. No, he do the long trip to go to attend the place where the child is having his activity. These people understand many things. There's no need to be racist. we should learn from them. Because if you see the community prospering, learn from people who prosper. Learn from people who are doing good on their own. When I saw the scene, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I say, so that's how they do stuff. The father is here. He comes from work. He's exhausted, but he's there. I know a personal, I won't get detail back home. She had a child with a guy, okay, with a man. The man wanted to do something serious, but the lady was troublemaker. She was dramatic and so on, so he left her. But they had a child together. At some point he left because he couldn't take it anymore. You know, there are women, they are dramatic, they are problem, they scream, so he left, okay? So she was taking care of her son on her own. The family saw that the son has bad habit. I will tell you how it's important to have the father have bad habit. At some point, the sister of the woman say, you are going to mess up the child. Let's call the father. He's going to take his own son. They called the father. They want to drop he was already in a relationship. He was with another woman. He had children. So he accepted his son. He took care of him. The son started to have good habit. He was going to school. He was doing good at school. And at some level in high school, in the middle of high school, before high school diploma, that years there, he wanted to go back to see his mom. When he went back to see his mom, he stayed there. Messed up. I don't say that it's going to be because there are women who are very firm. Me, for example, I'm firm with my son. Okay, I'm firm. I have no choice because I understand that I have to play the role also. I cannot always be, but I'm very loving. I really show him love. I show him care. I show him the hug because I want him later on that he can express his emotion. When he will be an adult man, I want him to be able to tell his wife, I love you, I hug you. I want him to be comfortable kissing and in public if he has to. That's what I'm trying to teach my son, okay? But the guy, when the son was messed up, he said, don't come back. I'm sorry. So you understand that the father presence is like the temperature. I don't know how to say that. Good fathers, of course. It's like a temperature. It's like this is the limit. You see, young men who have no respect with authorities or with the police or whatever, sometimes if you go home, the father is not present. The father is absent. Even if he's physically present, he's absent from his life. And sometimes it's a way to scream that, you don't see me, I exist. You don't see me, I exist. This is how they are sometimes. And imagine a man like that who grew up without his father presence. Okay? Married or not married, but without his father present. Imagine him in a relationship. Look the disaster. Look the headache's gonna be from the wife who's gonna be with him. That's why I understand why people say ask question, because it's important to see, because you will see that the men who grew up in a very healthy family where the two parents are, you will see we act differently. A man who grew up with a father only, you will see you act differently. A man who grew up with a mother who is very responsible, it will be different also. A man who grew up with a parent, a single parent, who is just, I don't care, you will see it also. It is important. The background is important. And the black communities, we have problem of child abandonment. And it's serious. The father absence is real. If we don't change it, we are going to have the problem in our community. We are going to always have making or creating men who are angry, who want to have attention, who become narcissists, who are emotionally abusive, who are sociopath. You have this situation. Only those where the parents have been around, who have no chance to show love to each other, you will see the difference as well. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.